got the new Splitfire4003. Got it delivered to our city address. Do a quick walk around a bit. It's pretty nice. It does have the emergency stop on it. We do not have that connected yet. I do plan to do that. I want to see if I can get another connector for the tractor before I cut into the tractor connectors. Got it mounted on the tractor last night, PTO connected, tested. We're out at my mother-in-law's, her mom's property. We were clearing the road and clearing her fence lines. So we've got a nice pile. There's the cleared roads. We'll go around to the nice pile here of stuff that we're going to chip. So this is going to be inaugural chipping. See how it does. We have piles probably about 6 times the size back at our property, so that's where this is going to go next. So we can get our pastures back, because right now our pastures are full of tree piles. So we'll do a quick walk around. This is the intake feed. I like this system because it's a vertical feed, very large chute, so we don't have to sit there and cut branches. Our previous video that you saw, we had an old deck 3-inch splitter, and we just had to keep cutting things down, and it would take all day or 2 days to do a pile that size. So we got it discharging out the back right now. Eventually I'm going to move this around so it discharges off the right side, but that's what we got. We're going to get it started and see what it does. All right, hello. Well, we've got our new 4003 Splitfire chipper. We've been using it for almost a week, which is really about 2 days because of weekend time. We've used it for a huge brush pile at our mother-in-law's and a couple of smaller brush piles here. And we started chipping some oak and we noticed that the chipping action had started to wear down. So we're getting ready to flip the blades around the other way. You can see we've got the top cone taken off already. We're going to lock the rotor. It comes with this very handy L-shaped pin. It goes down in this hole right here, which you're not going to find in the directions. And I found you just rotate it around until that gets locked in place. The instructions say we've got to clean out the bolts here. I'll let you look in there so you can see there's these 4 bolts right here, 1/4-inch hex head, and you can see they get a little bit of chipping debris. The instructions say to use a pick to clean them out. I don't have a pick, so we're going to use a tiny little screwdriver to get in here and kind of, you know, just pry out some of the junk and the dirt. So where we are now, we're not at a full shop, so we have hand tools and that's it, because we have no electricity other than what the sun provides. So blow those out with the rotor locked in place. It's not going to go anywhere. Get your handy dandy 1/4-inch torque wrench. I tried this with a very long hex key. It does not work. You have to have a socket for this, or you are in trouble. And we'll get these locked in and break them all loose. There's one. that's down in there. 2. Three. Don't reverse your wrench when you're swinging it around with your hand. It does not help. And 4. Bolt looks like. You can tell they did put Never Sees on it from the factory. I got Never Sees, and I was smart enough to leave it at home. So for today, we're going to use a little bit of grease on these threads, and then we'll swap it back out for Never Sees when we replace the blades again. We've got huge brush piles, as you'll see later in the video, so it won't be very long before we're putting our second set of blades in. And it's Never Sees, so the rule with the Never Sees is it gets everywhere, no matter how much you use. It'll come out, and to rotate that around to get it out. Got a little bit of dew in it. It's not too bad. It's a little bit nicked up. It's rolled over a little bit, but I'm here to tell you, once that edge goes, you can definitely tell the difference in the chipping. So we'll flip that back around sharp side. You notice when it goes in, it doesn't drop in. You have to drop it in and rotate it into place. Get that line back up on there. I'm going to have to clean that grease off later, but I just needed to get me through today. Started. Started. You'll have to do this twice. We're going to show one set of blades. Obviously, the other set of blades will be exactly like the next one. We got one huge brush pile done, probably what, 6 feet tall by 20 feet wide by about 30 feet long.
Sounds about right.
At Jen's mother-in-law's, or my mother-in-law, Jen's mom, last weekend, and we did 2 smaller piles. Then we started chipping some oak, and the yoke took out what was left of the blade, so just keep an eye on that. It's noticeably different when that blade gets dull. We've been using the machine very, very heavy. It's been awesome. I would say with a good blade, it's faster than a commercial machine that you would get at your normal rental store with the hydraulic feed. You do need to wear eye protection when you use this, because what we've learned is sometimes the branches will whip around as you feed them, and they'll smack you in the face pretty good, so pay attention to that. Once we get these down, we're going to torque them to 35 foot-pounds per the manual. And like I said, you have to have a socket for this. If you just try to use an Allen key, it's going to be very difficult. There's just not enough room to get in here and work. I do like the fact that the blades are reversible, though. That's a very nice feature. And I'm going to go center out. There we go. And pull the pin, carefully work that rotor around, and I just kind of drop the pin in until I find that hole and lock it in place, and repeat for the other side. One thing I want to note about the Splitfire4003, and if you look at when you're trying to get this bolt out right here, when the rotor stop aligns it exactly with the corner right here. You can see that corner. What that does, if you have a socket that has any bit of extension on it, it prevents a straight shot of that socket from engaging that bolt, which makes it very, very difficult to get a good engagement down into that. And with just that little bit of angle and 35 foot-pounds, that is going to strip that bolt. It's going to strip the head right out of that bolt, which is what's happened here. So we're trying to do a blade swap here for today. It looks like we're only going to get one blade done because I have pretty much immediately boogered up that hole. I did clean it out with a little screwdriver, but you can see right there, the corner of that prevents a direct engagement. I have to lean that socket over to get it in. And if this blade stop were moved a ½ inch that way or ½ inch that way, I'd either be able to come in here. Really, if it got it back here, I'd have full access to it. So beware of that. When you guys are buying a socket, try to find one with the thinnest wall to get that 1/4 inch head, or this corner is going to be in your way and you're going to have problems. Ready? All right, so first time trying to swap blades, we did strip this hole out. We repositioned the rotor a little bit, tried to get the socket in there better to get better access to it. You can see it's right there that close to the corner. We're going to have to go ahead, only be able to swap the one blade. And then fortunately Splitfire does have a video for how to drill that out. I'm going to note, it's going to take a very long drill bit to get to this. Right, when they do their video, they do one down here, one of these middle ones, so you can get the drill in there. Again, we're right on this the corner of this little hammer anvil thing, and it is extremely difficult to get to. There's very little clearance between this bolt and here, so both with the drill and the hex. And they're not kidding in their video when they say you have to have a positive engagement or you'll mess that head up, because you will. All right, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, go. It's line it up.
Fighting back.
Yep.
There we are.
In.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and drop your latches. I do like the latches on this. The latches are very, very nice.
For sure.
Okay. So this is the east finger of our pasture, and we've been working on getting it cleared to maximize the pasture as much as possible. When we bought the property, it had been neglected. And so a lot of the new growth forest had worked its way in about 20 feet on each side. And you'll see the other side later. Looks like it's been forestry mulched right now, but I'm actually too cheap for that. So should have been, it's probably what we should have done. But we used a chainsaw to cut it all down and clear it out. So hopefully we can plant over it. Probably have to come in here with a stump grinder for some of the big ones. But what we do have is quite the challenge for the 4003 chipper. And this is why we did go ahead and spend the money on that. This is the first pile of many, and we'll go ahead and we'll start walking around it. This is just from the east finger. Say the pile is probably about 30 feet long, 8 feet tall, and 20 to 25 feet deep, where it mates up back to back to the second pile. A similar height. What's it like having the Splitfire4003 for 2 weeks? I think it's pretty awesome. Today was the eclipse. We came out to the property, enjoyed the eclipse, and then in about 3 hours took a 30 by 30 by 8 brush pile through that, and this is the result of that. You'll note earlier in the video that we tried to change the blades around on the Splitfire3003. We're only able to get one blade around because we boogered up a bolt on one of the sides where we couldn't get the wrench in properly, which was unfortunate, but still in about 3 hours it chewed through a 30 by 30 pile. This is a second, third, fourth pile we've done with it so far. Using it more like a professional piece of equipment than a homeowner piece of equipment, and it's held up very, very well. Would I buy it again? Yes. Would I make a special tool to loosen the bolts closer to that hammer wall? Absolutely, and I probably will, to avoid taking out the head of the next bolt, because I've got to go drill a bolt head. But fortunately, Splitfire has video for that, so we'll see how that works. So, good product, very well put together, works hard.